Well, that mosquito hawk went down. One swing. This thing is a weapon. So, this is a valuable notebook. It's an anti-aircraft weapon. I just took out a mosquito hawk in one swing. Of course, they're very slow. You couldn't ask for a better. And, well, they do zigzag around, but anyway, yeah. I was looking, I wiped it off. I didn't see bug guts on here. But this is now which end did I do with? I think it was this way. So, shining some light on here. I wiped it off. If there was bug guts there, maybe I got it out. Good. Yeah, okay. So anyway, back to our lesson. Sheesh. Okay. We were on number 7 over here. As one argument begins, another is ended. Okay, interesting way to say it. Not saying as one ended, one is beginning. No, it's when another one starts. It's kind of like if you're not paying attention, it doesn't exist. There's lots of arguments that could be starting all the time, but it's the moment you actually become involved in it that you're now in the next project, is the way to look at it. That's why I, as an artist, have found that I really have to do one project at a time, which is kind of like why I'm here. I got to think, well, if I go in there and I start doing this, then I'm going to come back here and reset up, and I'm moving the camera, and it's like, I was like, okay, I'm complicating things. But somehow I kind of like what we're doing here in the format, and I'm thinking that maybe if I do release these over time, maybe I can kind of build a following, because even though I've been publishing for 4 or 5 years or more, I just kind of put them out there when I have an event. I'm not a regular poster. So by building up all this ammunition and kind of maybe putting them out on a weekly basis, perhaps, maybe you guys will appreciate that. So that's what I'm thinking right now. So I'm looking at a way to build my following. Never called it that, but I guess that's what it is. But my base, my fan base, that's what I would have called it before. And so anyway, maybe this is going to be one of those tools to do so. So otherwise, I'm going to go back in there and try to make some money, make the audiobook, like I said, and try to sell some products through, get on audible.com. But anyway, here's my kind of practicing with this book and what I'm going to do, because I'm really not sure. I'm honestly not. I never planned on making this an audiobook. Some of my books I plan on making audiobooks, like Sid's Plays and Masonic Kung Fu. I've actually recorded, not the whole thing, but I'll have to start over. But here we go. Who else do you argue with and why? Besides your parents and your loved ones, who else do you argue with? I was arguing with Oscar. In fact, that's what I said in his eulogy. I kind of said, thank you for arguing with me. But it was, in his case, it was really interesting, because he wasn't really a fan in some ways. He never liked my folk rock music. He was one of those German heavy metal people. He liked a singer that sounded like he was channeling Satan or some demon through him. That was the kind of music he liked. He gave me all kinds of copies of it, so I got some on my phone, and I've tried listening to it, but it just doesn't motivate me, or that grinding doesn't, resonate with me like it did for him. So he never even was much of a music fan, but he did like a lot of the other things I do. Here we go. What is it that you want to teach the world in general? In other words, everybody's going to say, oh, I wish the world this, or I wish everybody's got something. What do you think the world would be better off if they knew or behaved like, or something? What have you achieved that you'd like to see others achieve? Okay, so how are you setting the example? How are you the role model here? What should you achieve that seems too difficult? Okay, so what are your challenges? What should you achieve that seems too difficult? What habits, fears, and insecurities do you need to lose? Okay, so let's work around, let's get it all out there, and by the time you put all this out here, you can kind of see what's going on here. It's kind of like looking at all the terrain. How many fences do you have? Where's the bathroom? And let's put your life together here a little bit. How does the world limit you? Okay, that's a big question. You make your own perspective. See, sometimes to me, it's almost superstitious. I think, well, the world doesn't want me to be successful. Why aren't my books selling, my albums? Is the world limiting me? They're trying to keep me poor. Is it the Mormons working against me? I just kind of have to realize I'm not marketing well. So maybe this is a good marketing thing I'm doing right now, because Instagram, I don't know if I can make any money off these. I'm doing this for free, just for your benefit. And like I said, I'm not completely altruistic. I really want to build my fan base. Okay, what is your current career cycle? This is a little confusing, something I probably should elaborate. I don't know how much I elaborate in the book, but remember we're talking about life being in cycles, and you have an education cycle. You know, the elementary school thing, I think, is a cycle, and the middle school, a high school. These are all like little cycles. They have beginning, middles, and ends to them. So they're like cycles, even though they might be shorter or longer. They're still, to me, cycles. And so that's what I'm talking about. So we go through cycles in employment. Like maybe the first couple of years, you know, you just work for your parents, and then the next couple of years you are a volunteer for something. And you know, but anyway, each of these is a cycle, kind of. So what is your current career cycle? You don't know what your end career is or where you're going. What's your current career cycle? What is your current love cycle? Some people are in that, you know, just I want to date, or I want to do this, I'm in school, or I want to get married, or I am married, you know, whatever. What is your current physical cycle? So where are you at there? You know, think of yourself as a kid, as a teenager, where you are now. Has it all been the same, or, you know, what, you know, you have to, we're looking at you. Describe your position in your current career cycle. So if you can kind of visualize, you know, that it has a beginning, middle, and an end, where are you in that? Are you at the end of it? Are you in the beginning of I'm at the beginning of my current career cycle. I'm just starting all kinds of stuff. So I'm at the very beginning of my career cycle. Describe your position in your current love cycle. I got my cat. That's it. I'm really, really happy. And he gives me headbutts and nuzzles me every day. That's, you know, and when I really want some attention, I'll just grab him and hug him, pick him up, and he'll purr, you know, or I'll just lay down and he'll sit on my chest, and I'll, you know, and that's enough. I'm happy. You know, just contact and a little compassion. So that's my love cycle. So I'm kind of in the middle of it. Yeah, I figure he's probably got another 10 years to live, and he's, you know, about, how old are you, 5 years, 6 years old? So we're kind of in the middle of my love cycle with him. But I did sign up for that senior bachelor, like the bachelor thing, the senior love thing, whatever it is. I just sent in an application. I don't even know if they'll respond to it. Especially, I tried to make myself sound as honest as I could. I'm pretty wacky in terms of the normal man. Remember, I'm not the normal working class kind of guy. So. I'm an artist, musician, so I don't think they probably want to throw me in the mix. We'll see. Anyway, what is the end of this current physical cycle? I'm actually trying to look about 10, 20 years, next 10 years, in which it's going to take me to get through this Shaolin Shimanis program. I'm not sure if I'll make it all the way, because I got to go back and do Buddha Kung Fu and Tai Chi Youth. And nobody cares about the advanced program in this. Nobody gets that far. So when I finish this beginner program, I'm not even going into the intermediate. I'm going back, and I'll probably do Tai Chi Youth, and then I'll jump ahead and do Buddha Kung Fu. And then when I come done with that, I'll be good enough, you know, and if anybody was really ambitious and they make all 3 of those programs, they'll have more than Kung Fu than they need. If they want the Praying Mantis, then I don't know. I'm not guaranteeing I'll ever do the Praying Mantis, get to that. You know, there's no demand for it. So I don't know if I want to spend 3 years doing something that nobody wants, especially my last years. And so anyway, yeah, I'm looking at my next 10 years of how to get all this Kung Fu done. So anyway, that's my physical cycle. So I'm at the beginning of this. It's not my last one, it's just my last big one, because then I'm gonna have to take it a little easier. I might not be able to push myself as hard. So I don't know. I don't want to ever grow old, but I think at some point I'm gonna have to admit I'm old. So I'm thinking right now that I'm 66, and so I figure I'll go to 76 full blast and see if I can't just, you know, pretend like I'm not an old man, see what happens. I hope I don't blow up. No, yeah, because really I don't have any restrictions on me right now. I go. I go through the workout, boom, I don't give myself any slack. So I'm just going to keep going through the workouts and not give myself any slack, and that's where I'll be. And I'll be kind of establishing what this program can do too, because I'm a 66-year-old man. I'm in decent shape though, you know. So anyway, what other cycles am I in? My business cycle, all my cycles are starting over, are basically starting. These last 6 years of being a homeless Shaolin monk, you know, I kind of like put my life into storage. It was a cycle of just kind of like burrowing stuff away, gathering the acorns, burying them, and protecting them for 6 years. It was a very defensive, scary. Hey, it's amazing how much I was able to be happy the last 6 years. Anyway, let's get out of here. What has it been? 9 minutes, right before it's 10.